우량창창 우량창창 마음에 안 들어? 자꾸 우리
No, we talk about me flirting with my man, and that's not a bestie.
It is 2025, and thanks to Kiss of Life, we have yet another case of cultural appropriation in K-pop. Hello, I am K-pop World, and welcome to my channel. I'm not gonna lie, the live stream that they had for Julie's birthday was the biggest slap in the face for anybody who is black and loves Kiss of Life. That is a personal opinion, but I think if you're black, especially if you're black American, I would say this is probably like the biggest slap in the face. So as you probably know by now, on the 2nd of April was Julie's birthday, and her theme for her birthday party or her birthday live stream was old school hip hop, which is a really cute theme. And if it was executed well, I think the fans would have really appreciated their love for hip hop. But instead, they chose to go a different route, a very different route. They chose cultural appropriation instead. They said, hey, you know what? Instead of doing cultural appreciation where we show how much we love old school hip hop and how much we know about old school hip hop, we're just gonna do like a Temu version SNL cultural appropriation skit. Because you know what? That's funnier. That's better. You know, we're more comfortable with just being ignorant. Which is ridiculous to me because it is 2025 and we have seen from past years multiple K-pop idols getting called out for cultural appropriation, be it hair, be it their music, their style of dressing, things that they do. We've seen them get called out time and time again by fans. So I feel like K-pop idols in the industry are well aware that if you do anything that appropriates culture, especially black culture, you will get called out and there will be consequences because fans will never forget and will possibly never forgive you for it. And unfortunately, Kiss of Life have fallen into that hole that they dug themselves, if I do say so myself. And I would like to see how they try to crawl out of it. As of now, the consequences that we are seeing is that fans are still very upset with them despite the apologies that they put out and despite the apology that the company put out as well. We'll get into the apologies. But they've also gone on to lose over 200,000 Instagram followers and some of their fan sites shut down. So this is the apology the company put out. Hello, this is S2 Entertainment. We'd like to address the issues that arose from the content that was uploaded on Kiss of Life's official YouTube yesterday on the 2nd of April. We sincerely apologize for causing discomfort to our viewers. The true purpose of the content was to celebrate hip-hop culture, which serves as much of the musical inspiration for Kiss of Life. However, we apologize for our shortcomings in recognizing the negative cultural implications that our content could be perceived to have. Our members and team promise to approach cultural references with greater caution and respect moving forward. All related content has been removed from all of our channels. Thank you. So the company was very quick to come out with their apology. They released it on the 3rd of April, the day after Julie's live stream. And it was very vague. It's very vague, very superficial, very put it in ChatGPT. Let ChatGPT write the apology and then we'll just post it. It really just glasses over the whole situation and the problem without addressing it at all. It's a very shallow apology if you ask me. And I think a lot of fans will agree because after the company put out their apology, fans were very upset that it wasn't the girls themselves that were apologizing, considering it was them in the live stream mimicking black people and basically making a mockery out of black people and out of black culture. So it only felt right that the girls should be the ones to apologize themselves, and fans felt like the girls were hiding behind their company. Now, whether the apology being from the company was the company's decision or the girls' decision really doesn't matter. The girls should have been the ones to tell the company we're the ones that made the mistake. We should be the ones to apologize instead of letting the company be the one to apologize first. And especially not if it was going to be a super shallow apology. And this is the apology the girls put out. To all of our kissies, we really want to sincerely apologize for the content that was uploaded that caused so much disappointment to our fans. We have to seem calm on the outside, but the time leading up to this letter has honestly been hard. Although we want to and should have addressed this sooner, we are taking the first opportunity to address this now. We are sorry. Our intention was to show how much we love the category of old school hip hop because it greatly influences our music. While shooting the content, we ended up taking the concept too far. We realize now that our content was culturally insensitive and take full responsibility for our actions and can only promise to do better. We've spent the past few days learning and reflecting how our actions have disappointed many of you. We know that there is nothing we can say or do that will magically fix the mistake we made. The only thing that we can promise is that we'll continue to educate ourselves and show our sincerity through our actions rather than words. Our mission has always been to spread confidence and love through our music. We truly regret the choices we made and are genuinely sorry for any pain and distress we have caused our fans. This situation has been a valuable learning experience for us. Our Kissie's support means the world to us, and we will continue to honor you all in every way possible. As for the apology the girls put out, it was a handwritten letter that was posted to their social media. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel the sincerity in their apology. It doesn't feel sincere. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like the PR team typed it out as well, kind of put it through ChatGPT, said, look, what will sound sincere? But the AI doesn't know what the fuck sincerity is, because if that is the case, this was not very sincere. It was not very genuine. Same with the company's apology. It really just glasses over the root of the problem. It's as if they don't even know what they did wrong. It just feels like the PR team wrote something out and then had the girls write it out in their own handwriting to make it seem genuine and to make it seem like it came from the heart, because it doesn't feel that way. I don't feel the sincerity, and I think a lot of fans would agree that there is no sincerity in this apology. Firstly, they talk about how they clearly took the concept way too far and that it may have offended people. And it's like, people, yes, who people? Which people? Which community of people? Which race of people? Because that's important. Also, if you're going to call mocking Black culture content that went too far, you clearly don't understand what you're doing wrong. I don't know if the company was trying to be politically correct or if the company was trying not to dig the girls into a deeper hole than they're already in by doing this and by not mentioning the specific races that they may have offended, that they did offend. I think this was the wrong way to go about it. The girls should have come out and very sincerely, very honestly, very straightforwardly said, look, we clearly can tell that we have offended Black people and people from the Latino community and the Latino race, and we're very sorry for that. Our mimicry of Black culture and of Black people was very disrespectful. It was clearly very rude, and it shouldn't be done. And we won't do it again in the future. This whole we will educate ourselves and we were wrong, sorry to all of our No, that's not good enough. I'm sorry. This is my personal opinion. Their apology to me just isn't good enough because they don't address the problem. Therefore, if you've not addressed the problem, you technically have not apologized for it. You've only apologized because you've received backlash, not necessarily because you know what you did wrong. Here's the thing. Old school hip hop is probably one of the most fascinating times in hip hop. It is one of the saddest because it's during a time when a lot of hip hop artists went through some of their worst moments, be it in their lives or be it with their companies or companies that they were trying to work with. It really was just such a terrible time. They went through so much humiliation, so much disrespect. So many people just didn't understand them. There was a lot of hate from the media, a lot of misinterpretation of their music and of the artists as people. But it's also a time when I would say hip hop was in its golden ages. This was during a time when legends were made. Hip hop was making a name for itself as a genre that deserved a big stage. And it did exactly that. If they really wanted to dress up in old hip hop, there were so many ways to do it. They could have just put on iconic outfits from very legendary hip hop artists. And there's a whole list. If I get started, I will not stop. But I'll give you a few examples. Missy Elliott, Queen Latifah, Aaliyah, Lauryn Hill, and Eve. I would say if you're looking into female hip hop rappers, they're really good examples of like artists that had very iconic looks. If they had chosen to go with those outfits, I think people would have seen that the girls really do understand and they do appreciate hip hop culture and Black culture. And if they wanted to dress up like guys, that was totally okay because there is a long list of very legendary hip hop artists that they could have gone with. We're talking about the likes of Wu-Tang Clan, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Tupac, Biggie, there's Nelly, Nas, Run DMC, there's LL Cool J, even Wyclef Jean. There's honestly so many people that they could have come dressed as, and instead they chose very stereotypical outfits that were entirely of the wrong era, first of all, and of the wrong culture. If you think of the likes of like Wu-Tang Clan, Run DMC, LL Cool J, they're very big on the oversized tracksuit paired with at least 1 or 2 gold chains. If you think about Tupac, the iconic bandana look that he always wore, maybe even the overalls, I feel like he was big on that. The Timberlands, that was like a really huge thing during the era of old school hip hop. I could literally go on, but we will be here all day if I do. So clearly the girls did not look into research or even just do a Google search, because if they had, this stuff probably would have come up. It's just really sad to see all of the hard work that so many legendary people put in to making hip hop what it is today be reduced to a low budget skit for laughs. And the worst part about all of this is they're not just disrespecting hip hop culture. They're disrespecting Black culture and Black people as a whole, because it feels like they've reduced Black people to a ghetto group of people who are not very well spoken and not very intelligent. It seems like their view of Black people and Black culture is what is portrayed in the media, which is far from the truth, even when it comes to hip hop, and especially old school hip hop. Hip hop artists from that era saw hip hop as a release for their own feelings. They saw it as poetry. The music of some of the icons from that era is their life story told in music. And the fact that the Kiss of Life members had this birthday live that was old school hip hop themed, but couldn't be bothered to appreciate or at the least respect hip hop culture and Black culture that made hip hop culture possible is really astounding to see. And it really is so disappointing as somebody who casually listens to Kiss of Life. I'm not really a huge fan, but I do love their music. It really has put me off of Kiss of Life. I don't think I could listen to the girls' music in any capacity. I just don't see myself enjoying their music for a very long time. I think a lot of fans would agree with me that this whole SNL Timu version cultural appropriation skit that they did really just put them off of Kiss of Life, and I don't know what they're going to do next. I don't know how they're going to apologize, if they're going to apologize again or try to get back fans that they've lost, or maybe they just don't care at all and they will not put in any effort to try and get back the old fans that they lost. Maybe they'll work on getting new fans. I don't know how that's going to work out when they have a rap sheet that has cultural appropriation on it. I think the worst part about all of this is that it is very possible that the girls knew that what they were doing in the live stream was wrong. Whether they knew it while they were doing the live stream or whether they realized it after doing the live stream, because Belle posted before the live stream went live that she hopes that fans don't unstand them after seeing the live stream, which means to some degree she understood that what was going to happen in the live stream was not very culturally sensitive or respectful. And the thing is, the girls don't really get to feign ignorance, and they don't get to do what they did and hope to walk away from it scotch-free. I honestly cannot bring myself to understand whether they thought the live stream would be funny, whether fans would find it amusing. I really don't get it, because I don't know who's going to look at this and think, oh, this is funny. Thank gosh they're appreciating Black culture by eating soul food. I'm like, who's looking at that? Who's thinking that? Especially not when you're going to go off and mock Black people and Black culture. Here's the thing. I didn't expect them to do a live stream where they talk about old school hip hop or where they talk about people from that era. That's not what I want. I don't need a history lesson. But I think at the least they owe it to their fans who support them, who are Black, at least to respect Black culture and to respect hip hop culture. They could have just came in the outfits and called it a day. Just eat whatever you want to eat and then have a chat with your fans and then call it a day. They did not need to do the Black accent. They did not need to do the gestures, the actions, the mimicry. All of that super unnecessary. I don't need a history lesson. I don't need them to show everybody that they appreciate hip hop culture. But at the least, the minimum, the bare minimum, a little respect. Something like this for a group like Kiss of Life that is from a small company is probably going to set them back a lot. I honestly do think this is going to set them back. It's not very easy to claw your way to the top as a small company group. There's very few small company groups that get to make it to the top and be in the same conversation as the big four companies or plus medium company groups of the same generation. Very few groups get that. And the groups that do get that, it really is a miracle. They do end up joining the ranks of small company miracle groups. And I think Kiss of Life was en route to that. I don't know how this would affect them going forward because the hole that they just dug for themselves is very, very deep. I think if the girls want to show the fans that they really are sincere and apologetic for what they did, they should just come on live or at least make an apology video so that fans can see that they really are sorry. And in the video, address the problem so that fans understand that they do know what they did wrong and then apologize for that and hope that the fans forgive them and forget and move on from this whole thing. Because otherwise, I fail to see how fans are going to forgive them. I fail to see how they will get back fans that they lost from this. This whole thing boils down to, is it that they didn't know what they were doing was wrong, or is it that they just didn't care and they thought that fans would be okay with it? Because honestly, I think most fans would be leaning towards the reason that they just didn't care. It wasn't really about not knowing. But I could be wrong. After all, these are just my opinions and you are free to share yours with me in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up button to like this video and subscribe so that I can keep making more videos just like this one. And until our next dance with K-pop, goodbye.